rises on end to insurgency as President Buhari hails Boniyayi of Benin Republic. Vice President Oshibajo pledges government commitment to tap into potentials of diasporans for national development. Plus, relief for flood victims in Katsina State as Neymar rises to the rescue. Welcome to NTA Network News. My name is Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. President Muhammad Buhari has blamed previous administrations in the country for the current situation in which Nigeria is forced to spend billions of naira annually on alleged subsidies for petroleum products. The president attributes the escalation of petroleum subsidy payments over the years to the deliberate neglect of the nation's refineries to allow importation and corruption to thrive. He stated these at a meeting with the chairman and members of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission at the State House. Adam Sambo reports. President Muhammadu Buhari expressed his disappointment with the way Nigeria's oil industry has been run since he left office as petroleum minister and military head of state, saying he is convinced that if the development of the country's domestic refining capacity and petroleum product distribution network had kept pace with national demand, there would not have been any need for the huge subsidies currently being paid to importers. He urged the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission to go back to the drawing board and come up with more humane proposals to rescue ordinary Nigerians from what he called wicked manipulation of the country's oil industry by corrupt operators. The president warned that severe sanctions will be visited on any individual or organization that violates the directive on the payment of all national revenue into the Federation account. He said the NNPC and others which previously relied on the laws establishing them to retain all or part of revenues collected by them did so illegally and must now comply with the Constitution by paying all revenues to the Federation account. President Buhari used the forum to blame the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission for approving excessive remuneration for some political office holders, saying the commission must seek a proper interpretation of its powers and address the public outcry against the unreasonable high payments. Chairman of the commission, Elias Mbam, expatiates further on this while speaking to newsmen.
The police advised us that we should ensure using all legitimate means that all public office holders take only the remuneration as determined by the commission. We are currently reviewing the subsistence remuneration packages, and it's going to reflect the socio-economic reality of today. The responsibility of the commission is to determine the remuneration appropriate for political office holders, both elected and appointed. It will include the National Assembly, it will include the judiciary, it will include the state legislature and the executive, and then of course local government will also be included.
He said the commission has also been directed by the president to take steps towards ensuring that leakages are closed and revenue sources are expanded. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News. Still at the presidential villa, President Muhammadu Buhari has formally enrolled into the National Identity Database. He urged eligible Nigerians to do same in view of its tremendous benefits to the country. State House correspondent Adam Sambo again reports. Officials of the National Identity Management Commission, led by the Director General Chris Oyemenan, performed the enrollment exercise for the President in the State House. After successfully undergoing the processes, President Buhari was issued with his temporary enrollment slip by the Commission. He used the forum to call on Nigerians yet to enroll to do so in support of national security and socio-political development objectives. The Director General of the Commission, Chris Oyemenan, said of 7 million have so far enrolled. Deliberate steps have been taken to get more eligible citizens on the database by establishing enrollment centers in each of the council areas.
So now that the NDAs are going to step up the harmonization, the database will be populated in a matter of weeks. As a matter of fact, we're in the last stage of migrating the data from the bank verification number, and that's about 20 million.
President Muhammadu Buhari also granted audience to the Nasarawa State Governor Umaru Tanko Al-Makura, where issues of security and development were discussed.
A briefing for him to have an idea of what I'm doing and where we are going to support and associate with him in his quest to make this country a place that every one of us will be proud of.
Governor Al-Makura described as worrisome that Nasarawa State is yet to reap maximum benefits of its proximity to the nation's capital and expressed confidence that with the steps taken so far, we apologize for our inability to continue with our reports due to the bad video quality. Nigeria is on course in the renewed crusade to end the Boko Haram insurgency within the deadline given to the armed forces. President Muhammadu Buhari stated this at a joint news conference with his Benin counterpart Boni Yayi after a bilateral talk at the presidential villa. Sales correspondent Adam Sambo has the report. President Boni Yayi of Benin Republic was on a one-day visit to Nigeria to formally thank President Muhammadu Buhari for not only participating in activities marking his country's independence anniversary, but also his genuine efforts at ensuring sub-regional cooperation, integration, and security. Apart from discussing ways of strengthening the desired collaboration in those areas of common interest, the two leaders also touched on issues of boundary, ECOWAS, climate change, as well as transportation and power interconnection. President Muhammadu Buhari commended President Boni Yayi for contributing troops in the fight against Boko Haram under the Lake Chad Basin Commission. He said with the current performance of the armed forces of Nigeria in the frontline states, the end of insurgency is in sight and maritime security will be guaranteed.
We are doing our best under the circumstances in Nigeria organizing the military, on the ground, especially the army and the air force, they are doing very well, and the navy has joined to secure incentives in the Gulf of Guinea. We are encouraged, we are getting the cooperation with the international community, and assuring confidence, and I believe they are already feeling the difference in community clear.
President Boni Yayi, who spoke in French, was full of praises to President Muhammadu Buhari for his commitment towards eliminating insurgency and restated the resolve of his country to support Nigeria in this regard.
Development that President Boni is coming here personally to make this own voice. We are working hard to ensure that we achieve the mandate of Mr. President.
The Benin Republic leader, who enumerated other areas of socio-economic cooperation and collaboration with Nigeria, promised to visit the country at least once a month as a mark of honor, respect, and solidarity. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News. About 15 million Nigerians with great potentials are estimated to be living outside the country and making huge contributions to their country of residence. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says this huge human capital cannot be ignored in this era of change. State House correspondent Jide Onifade has the story.
Schemes and programs are critical for ensuring that the 110 odd million extremely poor Nigerians are given a chance to participate in this great new Nigeria. One of the things that we need to emphasize is the fact that no matter how long it takes, we must come to the realization that this country belongs to the majority of its people. The majority of the Nigerian people are poor at this moment. The majority of Nigerian people do not have the means to survive. And it is the duty of government and all of us to ensure that we take that into account in planning, that we take it into account in all the various things that we intend to do, both as government and as private sector. And that is why we prefer the bottom-up approach to economic planning. It's an approach that takes into account the number of those of us who have no means of survival.
We apologize for the slight hitch at the beginning of the report. With more than 15 million Nigerians in the diaspora remitting more than $21 billion annually and achieving great feats around the world, government thought it wise to set aside a day to interact and harness the invaluable professional skills of our citizens. This is the reason for the Diaspora Day celebration. Jabal Odu reports that the 2015 Diaspora Day was attended by more than 700 Nigerians across the globe.
This is the 8th Diaspora Day celebration with the theme Diaspora and Nigeria Change Agenda. The Permanent Secretary Political Affairs Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Ibukun Odushote, explains that accomplishments of Nigerians in the diaspora are legendary.
Every year, Nigerians made two parts in the North Marathon and voted the Nigerian flag. They are not development, they are not family. Became the first Nigerian to reach the geographic North Pole.
The Diaspora Day focus on three thematic areas of health, education, and youth and sports.
I advise younger people is just to take the challenge in behalf. They can testify that hard work pays.
Enabling Nigerians to become industrial designers so that we Nigerians will design our own cars, our own computers, our own laptops, our own refrigerators. This has been missing for quite a while. This is a time the atmosphere is conducive.
Other areas of importance include the establishment of the Diaspora Commission, voting rights, as well as an enabling environment for diaspora investment. In Abuja, Gabriel Udu, NTA News.
Yobe State Governor Ibrahim Gaidam has condemned the bomb explosion in Damaturu, Yobe State capital, which occurred early Tuesday morning. 6 people were confirmed dead and 26 others injured. Governor Gaidam sympathizes with families of victims and directs that those injured in the blast be given quick and free treatment at the Sani Abacha Specialist Hospital, Damaturu. He urged people across the state to continue to be vigilant toward the state of violence that has caused so much pain and death. While the Nigerian Army says the media will contribute greatly to the current onslaught against insurgents if the media refuses to publicize their activities. Director of Defense Information Colonel Rabi Abubakar said this when he visited the Federal Ministry of Information at the Radio House, Abuja. Anthony Forson reports.
You can be able to cripple them or complement the effort of the military in crippling them, which we urge Nigerian press and any other personnel around the world to understand their situations and then support us.
Colonel Rabi Abubakar was at the Radio House where he told the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Fulasede Yemeso, that barely 2 weeks in office, he is at the Radio House to canvass for synergy with the ministry. Expressing delight at the gesture by the military, the Permanent Secretary said the ministry has been expecting such collaboration.
The fight we are fighting is not a fight of the military alone. And that is why I think it's important for us to be able to get adequate information that we will now put out to every Nigerian. You know, it's quite depressing when you do your best and the people around don't realize what you're doing. You It's just as if you are not doing anything.
In Abuja, Anthony Fosun, NTA News. The military chief of defense staff, General Gabriel Olorunshaki, has visited Chad Republic for a regional military chiefs meeting which deliberated on agreement to accelerate the deployment of 8,700 strong multinational joint task force. A statement by the acting director of defense information, Colonel Rabi Abubakar, announced that the chief of defense staff has been working round the clock towards actualizing the presidential directive to end Boko Haram activities within 3 months. The chiefs of defense staff from the Lake Chad Basin Commission member countries discussed modalities for the deployment of the joint force to 2 command posts in Nigeria and Cameroon. The meeting agreed that officers seconded to the multinational joint task force should report immediately to their posts as operation at the headquarters has commenced. More than 2,000 victims of flood disaster in Katsina North Senatorial District have benefited from relief materials donated by the National Emergency Management Agency on behalf of the federal government. Correspondent Ado Ali Ibrahim has the story. We will bring you that story. In the meantime, Day 3 of the Nigerian Bar Association Conference in Abuja, lawyers focus on the need to adhere to ethics, promote justice, and aid national development. All this and more after this break. From the very first time I met my girl, I knew I had to stay connected to her and to Baklus. I needed a plan, so I got one. Nah. What kind of plan thinking? I got a funny one plan. Airtel Unlimited. A data package that gives me a fast and reliable browsing experience. That's not all. It also allows me to make calls and send SMS. And it gets even better with the game changer that allows me to stay connected to WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, BBM, and Tugo, even when my data runs out. Now that's the unlimited advantage. So I'm always connected to my family, friends, business partners, my fans, and of course, my girl. Now I've got an unlimited affection.
Enjoy endless connection with Airtel Unlimited, the data package that keeps you connected to social media even when your data runs out. Dial *489# to subscribe for the small, medium, large, or extra large package. Airtel, the smartphone network.
HIV type 1, Dettol Dog. Dettol provides 10 times more protection versus leading competition. Dettol is the #1 selling antiseptic proven to protect from up to 100 illness-causing germs. So why take a risk with your loved ones?
Lower prices on Nigerian driest diaper. Pampers Small Pack now only 350 Naira. Pampers Economy Pack for 1,300 Naira. Try Pampers Baby Dry today from just 350 Naira. Pampers. Presents Flash and Win Promos. Buy Indomie Noodles Super Packs. Find the phone number written on the seasoning wrapper inside the sachet. Start flashing the numbers and you stand a chance to get instant recharge up to 1,000 Naira. You also stand a chance to win 100,000 Naira daily and 1 million Naira in the mega draws. The more you flash, the more you win. Offer valid while stocks last. Terms and conditions apply. Indomie, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Introducing Dettol 175 grams family soap. Buy Dettol family soap for 200 naira and save 50 naira. Let's hope you step forward and take it. FCMB, my bank.
All over Nigeria, Ariel came to give us the best thing removal in one wash. So we'll collect top stain. Red sand. Good juice. See which gives the best thing removal in one wash. We'll wash one arm with Ariel and the other with the other peanut detergent. With the other peanut detergent removes the stain. And Ariel, best thing removal in Nigeria in one wash.
Some oils can be bad for your health, such as unbranded oil, which is often packed unhygienically and may contain substances that are toxic to the body. High-fat content is not good for our diet, so we have to be extremely careful when choosing our oil. In addition to this, adulterated oil may contain trans fat and high level of cholesterol, both of which are not good for a healthy diet. That's why I use power oil for my family. An oil with zero trans fat and no cholesterol. A healthy oil for a healthy family. That is my new sister. She's so small. Wait, why shouldn't you take her first? But my hair is clean. My mama says germs are everywhere. Germs transfer dry and make us sick.
But the solution is simple. Regular washing with soap. Presented Safeguard antibacterial soap. Supported by African Medical Association. Proven to remove up to 99.9% of germs.
As a mom, I know that my family's health is in safe hands with Safeguard.
We go back to the diaspora story where about 15 million Nigerians with great potentials are estimated to be living outside the country and making huge contributions to their country of residence. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says this huge human capital cannot be ignored in this era of change. State House correspondent Gigi Onifadu has the story.
In 2014 alone, Nigerians living in countries around the world are noted to have rated more than 20 billion naira back to the country, while some of them are said to be contributing in terms of aid and investments. Many of them are said to be genius in their chosen profession. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who represented the President at the opening of Diaspora Day and Conference holding in Abuja, says the environment is being made conducive for investments and other economic activities. He says interventions are on to boost the economy, strengthen the naira, and prevent unwarranted competition. The power sector, according to him, is receiving attention. Efforts are on to revive dying industries, which he says will help employ the numerous unemployed youth. Recognizing the contributions of Nigeria diaspora community in the build-up to the successful conduct of elections in 2015, the Vice President says it will soon be possible for those living outside the country to vote in elections from wherever they reside. Having a database of Nigerians residing abroad, he considered, is of importance, as well as
having a credible electoral process. Trinidad and Tobago High Commissioner in Nigeria delivered a speech to fire up the spirit of self-determination and patriotism. Former Chairman, House Committee on Diaspora Abike Dabiri-Erewa hoped the proposed establishment of a commission on diaspora would get the assent of the president soonest.
If we have many countries that already have full-fledged diaspora ministers, having a commission should be a first step for us in Nigeria. I believe that will happen in the lifetime of this administration. So it is our duty to put our effort together to see that the change comes from us.
Great achievers of Nigeria origin are lined up to discuss various issues relating to the role of the diaspora and Nigeria change agenda. From the State House, Jude Onifade, NTA News.
The ongoing 55th Nigerian Bar Association Annual General Conference holding in Abuja has emphasized the need for legal practitioners to adhere to the ethics of the profession and strive to be agents of promoting justice and equity as a way of aiding national development. Adi Tukur reports on the day 3 of the NTA conference.
The third day of the annual General Conference brought together lawyers who had served or who are still serving in government as a way of assessing their contributions to good governance. The showcase session also focused on issues like the need to have an independent, corrupt-free judiciary where judges and legal practitioners will see themselves as partners in justice development, fighting a cause for the improvement of lives of citizens. Participants said the legal profession has a lot to offer to nation building, especially when due process and rule of law is promoted.
Our law should be fashioned in such a way that we will encourage a pure fight against corruption.
What we are trying to do is to ensure that we bring the Bar Association as a sort of think tank so that they will be able to drive most of the policies that we have in our various departments.
We are working on the Civil Service Act so that we will have a law that will clearly state the position of the civil service as it relates with other arms of government.
In the private session, the president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Mr. Alege, inaugurated the Nigerian Police Lawyers Forum with the aim of promoting human rights norms in police operations. In Abuja, Ali Tuku, NTA News.
Still on the NTA conference and reaffirming the commitment of lawyers to support the present administration's war against corruption, legal practitioners have been charged to carry out their activities with strict adherence to ethics guiding the profession for the overall development of Nigeria. Senior colleagues in the legal profession gave the charge while discussing some issues raised at its ongoing 55th annual conference of the NBA on NTA's breakfast program, Good Morning Nigeria. Joy Uzo monitored the program and now reports.
As vanguards of national growth and development, lawyers are considered critical in the current drive by the government to achieve set objectives in the fight against corruption and the quest to cut down on the cost of government. Legal practitioners were featured on the program, including the president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Augustine Alefe, while stating their support noted that more investigative panels are springing up to ensure that no lawyer obstructs the cause of justice through any form of professional misconduct.
That brings about a disrepute, that obstructs the cause of justice, that creates a clear denial of justice, is considered a professional misconduct. So as we go down in the next few months, you will start to see changes. Like I told the bar, we now have more investigative panels.
There is always the manipulative element in anything. And I believe that one of the basic commitments of a lawyer is to comply and adhere to the ethics of the profession.
As measures to tackle challenges facing the profession, including complaints of delayed justice, the guest attributes the obsolete laws and non-domestication of some laws in all 36 states of the Federation as some factors delaying the course of justice in Nigeria.
One of the reasons why you have delays is that our laws are antiquated, they are obsolete. Some have been there for 104 years, like the Criminal Code. Now, new efforts that are being made to get the Administration of Criminal Justice Act in stream has only been limited to Abuja, which is the Federal Capital Territory. So So efforts by laws, by lawmakers, by governments, by legislators is to have such laws domesticated in the 36 states of the Federation. Now, we don't expect somebody to deliver a 21st century service with 18th century equipment. And that's talking about our court system. Nigeria is probably one of the last countries that I know in the world where judges still take notes in long hand as if they are taking dictations. So the court system will have to be totally automated.
The change agenda of the central government led by President Muhammadu Buhari gives Nigerian lawyers an opportunity to consolidate what they began since after independence. In Abuja, Joy Uzo, NTA News.
From lawyers and national development, now Nasarawa state government is to commence demolition of illegal structures as well as take measures to address other developmental challenges of communities that share boundary with the Federal Capital Territory. Joshua Ojito reports that Governor Umaru Tanko Almakura is personally supervising the exercise.
Statistics shows that substantial number of workers in the nation's capital Abuja reside in Mararaba Karu local government area of Nasarawa state. But over the years, the area lacks basic social amenities for comfort of these workers. The demolition and high cost of accommodation in Abuja is one of the contributory factors of overpopulation in Mararaba and other communities in Nasarawa state that have common boundary with the Federal Capital Territory. This has resulted to indiscriminate building, poor sanitation, traffic gridlock among others, thereby constituting health hazards to the people in the area. Some of the measures adopted is to commence demolition of all illegal structures so as to restore the master plan of the area, while government has given previous ultimatum to all illegal motor parks along the Maraba-Nyanya highway to vacate for free flow of traffic.
And one of the cardinal preoccupation of this administration is to ensure that the security of life and property within this very important corridor is enhanced.
On sanitation, Governor Almakura warned against indiscriminate dumping of refuse on drainages and waterways, even as he announced plan to reintroduce monthly sanitation in Karu local government area. In Mararaba Karu local government area of Nasarawa state, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
As we reported earlier, more than 2,000 victims of flood disaster in Katsina North Senatorial District have benefited from the relief material donated by the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, on behalf of the federal government. Correspondent Adu Ali Ibrahim's report is now ready.
Items donated include 7 bags of rice, silicon, maize, and sugar. Others are building materials, mattresses, blankets, beverages, cooking oil, among others. The beneficiaries were drawn from Gawa, Bauri, Meadua, Ngawa, and Kusada local government areas. Presenting the relief material to the affected victims, the Director General of National Emergency Management Agency, Mohammed Sani Fidi, said the gesture is to assist the victims but not compensation. While sympathizing with them, Mohammed Sani Fidi reminded them on the need to realize the early warning. The Executive Secretary of SEMA did mention that 7 local governments were affected, and prior to the delivery of these items, there was an assessment of the affected areas, the 7 local governments that were affected. Therefore, these items were delivered based on the assessment that was carried out by the State Emergency Management Agency in collaboration with NEMA officials. Senator Mr. Pabuka representing Katsina North Senatorial District from the federal government for acting part in assisting the victims. And we thank NEMA for the very quick response they have given to this turbulence that we have had. In fact, they intimated NEMA as the problem to the same day that we send the officials to look at the site and to investigate to find out what has actually happened. And in fact, actually give some immediate attention to the people that have suffered this catastrophe. In the Katsina State, Adu Basin, NTA News.
Ademola Adio is in Lagos with more on NTA Network News. Demola, what's new around Lagos?
Thank you, Mohammed. You'll get to hear about it now. Stakeholders and experts in the maritime sector are meeting in Lagos to articulate ideas on how to generate viable solutions towards tackling maritime security challenges in Africa, especially in the Gulf of Guinea. The second phase of the second offshore patrol vessel, African Conference 2015, was organized by the Nigerian Navy in partnership with the International Quality Productivity Center. Lynn Lenike has details.
Africa's maritime domain remains strategic to international trade, but with enormous potential, which has been persistently challenged by a myriad of threats. These threats include human trafficking, crude oil theft, proliferation of small arms and light weapons, as well as terrorism and environmental degradation. Experts say these threats have serious consequences on collective maritime governance and economic well-being of African nation-states. The conference therefore created an avenue to seek homegrown solutions for a safer African maritime environment. The Chief of the Naval Staff and the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Defense, re-emphasized federal government's determination to deploy more platforms to patrol the nation's waterways.
We believe that by integrating the surveillance systems, we will be able to track and respond appropriately to the insecurity that we have in our various countries.
Some of the issues that are definitely we intend to come at this one, joint exercises, joint patrol, information and internet sharing.
Rear Admiral Henry Babalala reiterated the need to build credible capacity that will guarantee collective maritime defense and security.
We move forward with a better collaboration, more funding of the Navy, recapitalization of our efforts.
The conference, second of its kind, attracted local and international stakeholders in the maritime sector. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
The federal government has been called upon to take steps to rehabilitate people whose hearing sensitivity will be affected by the war against insurgents. The former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ishaya Bami, made the appeal while addressing participants at the Audiology Conference in Lagos. John Bakina reports.
General Bami told participants drawn from Nigeria, Ghana and Cameroon that there is an urgent need for the federal government to provide audiological services to states affected by the insurgency. He suggested that an audiology center for the Nigerian Army should be established in Abuja close to the area of conflict. This will ultimately serve the needs of soldiers and civilians alike.
I think there must be assistance from federal and state governments because of funding. I believe especially in the northern part of the state.
This call was supported by the current Chief of Army Staff, who sent in a representative. The Director of Nigerian Army Audiology Center, who is also the President of Audiology Association, appealed to the National Health Insurance Scheme to include audiology services in the schedule so that more Nigerians with hearing loss can benefit.
The way forward is making sure that we have other centers, maybe in the six geopolitical regions, to service everybody in the country.
Papers were presented by professionals in the field of audiology.
People who are exposed to bomb blast need to be evaluated, they need to be assessed, they need to be rehabilitated.
Nigeria currently has only one audiology center located at 68 Nigerian Army Reference Hospital, Yaba. In Lagos, John Wetman, NTA News.
I want more. I want more. God, can you get more? Give me more. Who is this guy? Give me more. Just give it to me. Don't settle for less when you can get more out of life. Now get 200% more whenever you recharge on Glow. That's right, 200% guaranteed bonus on recharge. You call or text any network anytime. Still want more? How about 15 megabytes free data on recharge? 1 minute free for 3 minutes of calling. Plus additional free airtime of 200 naira to call family and friends. That's more. The grass is definitely 20% greener with Glow. Dial star 200 hash to get your 200% bonus now.
Every goal, every success deserves your all.
preservative, and no added sugar. The best always believes in 100%. 100% commitment. 100% quality. 100% achieved. 100% goodness and real tasted fruits. Either 100% or nothing.
To reach the world. Stallion Group, a progressive conglomerate with diversified business presence in more than 18 countries in sectors like agriculture and right value chain, automobile manufacturing, automobile sales and services, steel manufacturing, mining, fisheries and aquaculture, plastics and polymers, petrochemicals and packaging, port operations, shipping and logistics, warehousing and distribution, fertilizers, real estate, technology, and financial services. Stallion Group is dedicated towards its social responsibilities with focus on rural and community development, health care, child welfare, and a sustainable environment. Stallion Group is committed to making the lives of our people better by providing quality products at an affordable price. Stallion, proudly Nigerian.
Thank you for remaining with NTA Network News. Stakeholders take against the Federal Inland Revenue Service's bid to increase the value-added tax VAT from the current 5% to 10%. Chairman Amikio has details on business news.
Many thanks for joining us on business segment. Value-added tax is referred to as indirect tax levied on goods and services and paid by a consumer on every purchase made, according to the African countries VAT rate. At the International Bureau of Fiscal Documentation, Nigeria has the lowest VAT rate in Africa, with South Africa at 14%, Uganda 17%, Namibia 15%, Cameroon 18.7%, Senegal 17%, and Ghana at 12.5%. Research has shown that the federal and state revenue has increased by over 4.2 trillion naira accruing from value-added tax revenue, but the yet to be implemented plan by the FIRS to raise VAT from 5 to 10% has been referred as ill-timed. I think there are two issues. One is, should the tax be higher? And secondly, should it be now? First, I think you will get additional revenue with the tax higher. The argument was made a long time ago. But the question is really now, because you also have to look at the political expediency of introducing a higher level of tax. If government can actually account for VAT that had been previously collected at the 5% and what has actually been done with the 5%, then the citizens will not find a problem towards an increment to the VAT. They maintain that the agency should rather strive to capture those who are outside the tax mix. And trading activities on the equities market continued on a downward trend. Here is the graphic details. And that concludes today's package. I am Chiazola Mikio. The news continues daily.
Thank you, Chairman. The Chinese market stocks took a free fall Monday by more than 8%, taking a toll on not only the world's second largest economy, but across the world as well. The market tumble has raised speculations over whether the Central Bank of China will cut the reserve requirement ratio again. Analysts believe real interest rates have been very high in China, and focus, they say, should be on cutting interest rates reserve requirement ratio, which should improve consumption and corporate earnings. Julieta Aina in China sent us this report.
8.49 fall at the Shanghai stock market on Monday is seen as the worst day of trading in 8 years, with the market closing at 3209.91 points. It marks the steepest drop since February 27, 2007, coming less than a month after a similar plunge when the stock market lost 8.48%. Before which showed all of the previous gains for the year has affected every corner of the market in China, with small cap growth stocks and state-owned blue chips dropping at about the same rate.
Basically, market forces are becoming more important.
Stockbrokers say the losses are limited only by China's emergency brake, an initiative that limits individual shares from falling by more than 10% in a single day. The limited loss was helped by the fact that a number of shares were suspended from trading. Market watchers say the fall was fueled by the Chinese government's failure to make a strong policy move to support the stocks after an 11% plunge last week. Investors had hoped that the People's Bank of China would cut the amount banks must keep in reserve. Reducing this amount is expected to free up money that banks are being free to lend, boosting stocks by increasing market liquidity. No such move was made over the weekend. Nearly 2,200 shares tumbled by the daily limit of 10%. The government only gave approval to allow the state pension fund managed by the local government to invest in the stock market for the first time. They could only previously invest in bank deposits and treasures, but will not be able to invest up to 30% of their assets in stocks, equity funds, and balanced funds. Analysts believe this could give the stock market a potential boost of $97 billion. But there was no enthusiasm for the scheme, and it did not do much to stop the free fall in Monday's trading. From Beijing, China, Julieta Aina, NTA News.
Nigeria's agricultural sector has attracted financial support to the tune of 4.5 billion naira of investment from donor agencies and the international community. The support is coming under the African Union Food Security Program and aims at facilitating agricultural business and eradicating hunger on the African continent. Musa Babali has this update.
Nigeria is among the African countries that are implementing the African Union Program aimed at eradicating hunger and malnutrition in the country. Under the initiative, the country is implementing 13 policy actions in the areas of seed and fertilizer, Bank of Agriculture and Insurance, nutrition and staple crop processing zones, among others.
International and local business establishments are committed to make investment of about $4 billion in the agricultural sector.
To this end, the success and challenges in the implementation of the project is being reviewed ahead of the AU Summit, where the report will be submitted.
We have a project for the rice post-harvest activities in Niger and Nasarawa. We introduce a couple of technologies, and we also train people.
Nigeria has the support of European Union, Japanese government and the United States of America. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
We take a short break. When we come back, Global Team H and some sports news. Don't go away.
Various anti-corruption campaign is the focus of NTA July 18. How is it all about it? This July is going to be interactive, educative and revealing. Don't be told. Join us.
Are you still shaving the same old way? Shaving on dry skin can be uncomfortable. Try Gillette Nitro Plus. It has two chromium-coated blades and a lubrication spray plus activated by water. You'll be surprised just how smooth Nitro Plus feels. And even more surprised at the affordable price. Gillette Bluetooth Plus, surprisingly smooth and affordable.
Some oils can be bad for your health, such as unbranded oil, which is often packed unhygienically and may contain substances that are toxic to the body. High fat content is not good for our diet, so we have to be extremely careful when choosing our oil. In addition to this, adulterated oil may contain trans fat and high level of cholesterol, both of which are not good for a healthy diet. That's why I use power oil for my family. An oil with zero trans fat and no cholesterol. A healthy oil for a healthy family.
National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, they bring with this message.
When I join Kenny in our Ibadan Network Center for more on NTA Network News. Hello, Kenny.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Ibadan. Oyo State Governor Abiola Ajimobi has advised intending programs to this year's Hajj from Oyo State to be law-abiding and be good ambassadors of the state. He stated these at the farewell ceremony for the programs in Ibadan. The report.
Governor Abiola Ajimobi, who emphasized the importance of holy pilgrimage to Mecca as the fifth pillar of Islam, encouraged the pilgrims to remember the state in their prayers.
By the rules of Islam, by the tenets of Islam, and they should also obey the rules when they get to Mecca.
The chairman of the State Pilgrims Welfare Board, Alhaji Taufik Akebagu, said the board has been able to train all pilgrims through workshops, lectures and practical demonstration of how Hajj could be performed. Highlight of the event was the recitation from the Holy Quran. In Ibadan, Adebola Ogunlanu, NTA News.
That's it from Ibadan. Back to you for the rest of the news.
Thank you, Kenny. Global Tidbits is next with Wanke Kolawole.
A 25-year-old man, Mohammed Alima, is feared to have joined the Islamic State group fighting in Syria and Iraq. The man had informed his parents on the 16th of this month of his intention to join the militant group. News from South Africa says 8 policemen have been convicted by a court for the murder of a Mozambican taxi driver who was tied and dragged behind a police van in 2013. In the United States, 4 Britons were among the 6 on board a seaplane that crashed during a sightseeing trip in Canada. The bodies of the deceased have been found and handed over to the coroner's office. In Venezuela, government has closed its borders with its western neighbor and deported more than 1,000 Colombians as part of crackdown on smugglers and criminals. And taking business, the People's Bank in China has cut its main interest rate by 0.25% points to 4.6% with effect from Wednesday to calm stock markets after 2 days of turmoil. From Global Tidbits, Winter Kolawole, NTA News.
So we have the sport updates. The Nigerian Table Tennis Federation has selected 6 men and 3 women to represent the country at the All-Africa Games in Congo, Brazzaville. The 9 players and 4 technical officials have been training at the National Stadium in Lagos with the aim of dominating the table tennis event at the September Games. The new technical advisor, Martin Adonate from Germany, has joined the team, and Nigeria's top player, Aruna Quadri, is also in camp for the Brazzaville Challenge after a 3-week training in China. The number 3 ranked player in Africa and 56 in the world is optimistic of a good outing in Congo.
China for 3 weeks, so I'm just coming back 4 weeks ago. So I think that should be a little bit enough to conquer the Africa in Congo Brazzaville.
The Director, International Tennis Academy Lagos, Godwin Kienka, has expressed satisfaction with the standard of the Nigerian Communications Commission Tennis League, which is now in the group stage. Speaking on NTA Sports World program, Kienka said a good number of junior players are emerging as the competition moves from city to city, with another one holding in Kaduna this weekend.
Money is a prize money which we hope they will use to send these players to international events, satellite events, and pick up points to get on the ranking.
The Formula One world has paid tributes to British driver Justin Wilson, who died on Monday night after being struck by flying debris in Sunday's Pocono IndyCar 500 race. Debris from Sage Karan's car hit the 31-year-old ex-Formula One driver Wilson, and the Android Autosport driver crashed into the wall, after which it was airlifted to the hospital. Now the weather prospects across the country. The prospects concludes NTA Network News for tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.